Welcome back to Status, and today we have a 1,000 horsepower R8 in for an absolutely disaster detail. So the paint on this thing is horrible. We're going to do a full paint correction job on it, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to start off with a quick wash, but the wash doesn't even matter that much. I could wash this thing with brawny paper towels and Windex, and I would end up about where I'm at anyways because the paint is so bad. So let's jump into that wash, and then I'll show you guys some cool, really satisfying paint correction shots. Our normal followers know that we normally wash cars outside, but it is still winter here in Chicago, and it's quite cold. So it was, I think, like -5 or 0 or something like that with the wind chill. And when it's that cold, we wash cars inside the shop here. And in general, we didn't film a whole lot here because the car really wasn't super dirty, but it was covered in a little bit of salt, so it needed an obvious cleaning. But the car was taken out of storage and already was relatively clean. It was here for a paint correction detail, and that's what we're really going to focus on. So let's jump into that. All right, so I just did a test spot here to kind of see how the paint was reacting, and I want you to listen. You should hear virtually nothing because this is very smooth, very good paint. Okay, you ready for this? So you're hearing like a lot of overspray all over this thing. So when you polish it, more likely when you compound it with a really aggressive pad and a really aggressive compound, you end up pulling all that crap off the paint and it becomes smooth. And when you want to ceramic coat a car, you want it smooth. You don't want that rough nonsense and then putting ceramic over that. It won't react right. It won't bead water right. It'll be a disaster, which is why this is a disaster detail. So the worst part about this detail is basically the really heavy swirl marks all over the entire car. There wasn't anything super bad like sanding marks or any really deep scratches. Really, the paint was in pretty good condition from that standpoint. We're really dealing with really heavy bad swirl marks, which primarily come from bad wash process, bad drying process, potentially automatic car washes every once in a while. So you know, this car has a paint condition that appears horrible because it is, but the reality is it's not terribly difficult to fix this. It's actually pretty easy to fix it with paint correction. So let's talk about the products that we're going to use to do that paint correction. RWS 21 Mark III, in my personal opinion, is the best orbital dual action polisher on the market, period. There is nothing better than this polisher. Lake Country makes a lot of pads and a lot of different versions of pads. These are called HDO pads, where they have a gray, real dense foam at the top and then the actual cutting foam at the bottom. In this case, this one's orange and this one's blue. These pads are fantastic. This is what I paint correct hypercars, Bugattis, McLaren Sennas, P1s, 918 Spiders. I'm gonna do 1,000 horsepower R8 on this demonstration. I'm gonna use these pads. On this car, we're gonna grab CarPro Ultra Cut. We're gonna grab this blue pad, okay? Smack that on there and you're good to go. That's the left side of the hood, the side I did not polish. You can see this side is quite bad. And then, bam, look at that. So that's the side I just polished. I compounded, if we're being accurate with our terms. Note how much we have like a cross of compound down here. Alright, you can see how this is all messed up. And boom, look at that. Look how good it is. Look how fast that was. So those first little shots of paint correction that you saw, the before and afters, that was only after one pass, basically, of doing paint correction. Now I did 3 passes total on basically every single panel. I did various different techniques, different polisher sizes and different amounts of product, and basically worked the panel differently every time to make sure I got the paint perfect. That first pass did get us to about 85 or 90% though. That last 8% was complicated to get and took way more time than getting to 90%. That's kind of how it goes. But like you can see here, the paint's really good condition. There's some little tick marks here and there, and that's just imperfections in the paint. And that's the name of the game when you're detailing a used car that's old. You'll never get that stuff perfect, but you will get swirl marks out completely. And then, it's important to me that cars leave perfectly. So this wasn't something that we talked about or agreed on that I would do, but the plastic trim around the entire car, all this honeycomb stuff, it didn't match the rest of the car. The car looked stunning. It looked better than it looked brand new when it was originally purchased, more glossy with the ceramic coating than ever. And then you've got this trim that looks kind of gray and faded and almost like oxidized. It didn't look right. So, this is something I do a lot on cars. Like I said, I didn't tell them I was going to do this. I just did it because it was the right thing to do. Cars leave here perfect. And then the same thing goes on the inside. We did talk about leather care. The car is perfect on the outside. Now we open the car up and we've got this shiny leather all over the place that almost looks like it's been armor-alled. It was not armor-alled, but it's basically body oils and things they build up on the car, and it makes the leather shiny, and that's really normal. And it's not terribly difficult to fix this stuff. It takes a lot of time. You don't want to destroy the leather. You're just trying to clean it. And same thing as like I said on the outside. Now it matches. So the inside and the outside are perfect. They all match. And status detail, we do perfect details here. So it's very important to me and bothers me when a car leaves and it's not perfect. And this car left perfect. So I feel pretty good about that. Jump into some kind of comical driving footage of us going for a drive in the car. But before we do that, let me show you some outro footage of just how the car looked when it was totally cleaned and dialed in and perfect. Take it away.
All right. Unfortunately, that's like 30% throttle.
Yeah.
So there's not much we can do. That's about as good as it gets,
yeah,
unfortunately.
No, totally good.
That was probably 25%, and the back end just is gone.
Alrighty guys, and just like that, this video is over. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll take a quick drive in this 1,000 horsepower R8, which is rear-wheel drive. It's super cold out, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna probably crash it if we go fast, so we're gonna go slow, and just enjoy the outro.
Yeah.
That was 4th gear.
Yeah, I know. This thing is very squirrely.
Yeah.
This, of all the cars, this should be on winter tires. This one and probably the P1 and Wyra.
Even the Senna was on 888s.
It was better than this.
Better than this.
Yeah.
The R888s that are just really good tires in terms of like winter performance, or is that like Senna aerodynamics are no joke?
I think the aerodynamics are the ones. I think that's what it is, because the car's so light. That's everything.
2,800 RPM.
Even then, you can feel it. You can feel it trying to lose traction. Even that.
We're gonna be like crazy careful with this other car coming now.
Yep.
We're doing 16 miles an hour, the slowest turn we've ever done on the channel. All right.
I wasn't kidding. This thing is really like, it's squirrely.
Yeah, the S2000 feels a little bit like this because it's on it's on star specs, which are almost slicks. But I mean, that car has baby torque. You know.
Then you don't drive that in the winter at all?
No.
How many miles do you put on it a year?
Steve has bested me with driving his Chiron in the winter. I don't drive my little S2000.
Love it.